I got into my car and drove off, leaving Molly sitting there. She was probably in a state of confusion and anxiety, her mind racing with questions about what had just happened. I knew it was hard for her to process, but I couldn't stay. The weight of what I now knew pressed heavily on me. However, tonight wasn't about confronting her or making sense of the chaos. It was about taking the first real step toward rebuilding my life, a life where she no longer had a place. As I drove, the cool night air and the hum of the engine became a quiet backdrop to my thoughts. I had to find some semblance of peace, a way to move forward from this nightmare. When I arrived at Gabriel's house, the warm, welcoming glow of the porch light immediately gave me a small sense of comfort. The smell of freshly baked lasagna drifted through the air, reminding me of the homey, safe atmosphere Gabriel and Rose always created. They greeted me with genuine smiles, their faces lighting up when they saw me step out of the car, though I could see they noticed the tension in my posture. Gabriel slapped me on the shoulder in his usual jovial manner. "Good to see you, Mason. Come on in. Make yourself at home," he said, his voice warm but with an underlying note of concern. Rose stepped forward and extended a hand, her smile soft and kind. She gave me a look that said she understood I wasn't there for casual conversation. "You look like you've had a rough few days," she said, her voice soothing. "Come sit. Let's get you fed." Their kindness, so genuine and disarming, almost made me forget for a moment what had just happened. I followed them inside, trying to push thoughts of Molly and the betrayal aside, if only for a little while. Over dinner, I tried to keep the conversation light at first, focusing on work and my interest in joining Gabriel's team. I asked him questions about what it was like to work alongside him and his vision for his team's future. But as the night wore on, I found it harder and harder to keep up the pretense. The emotions swirling inside me were too much to suppress. And Rose, ever perceptive, noticed a shift in my mood. She leaned in, her voice gentle but firm. "Mason, you don't have to share anything you're not ready to, but if you want to talk, we're here for you." I paused for a long moment, the weight of my secret suffocating me. I had been holding it in for days, weeks. Even in tonight, it all felt like it was about to break free. With a heavy sigh, I set my fork down, the clink of it against the plate cutting into the otherwise comfortable silence. "It's Molly," I said, the words escaping me like a confession. "She's been unfaithful. It's not just once, but with multiple people." Gabriel froze mid-bite, his eyes wide in shock. His fork paused in mid-air as his expression shifted from concern to disbelief. "Mason, I'm so sorry," he said, his voice low. "That's just awful." Rose reached across the table and placed a comforting hand on mine. "I can't imagine how painful this is for you," she said softly, her voice full of empathy. I swallowed hard, trying to keep my composure. "It's worse than that," I continued, my voice trembling. "It's with Brad, my boss, and a few of his friends, including his son. I have proof, but seeing it, knowing it, sits unbearable." Gabriel's face darkened at the mention of Brad's name. "Brad, I can't believe he'd do something so low." Rose leaned forward, her gaze softening even more. "Do you have anyone else you can talk to, Mason? A support system outside of us?" I shook my head, the feeling of isolation growing. With each word, "Not really. It's part of why I came here tonight. I needed to tell someone who might understand what I'm going through." Gabriel's voice was firm with resolve. "You have a place on my team, Mason. We'll get everything set up as soon as you're ready," Rose added. "And if you need someone to talk to, whether professionally or just someone to listen, I can help connect you. I'm here for you." Their support felt like a lifeline, something I hadn't realized I was craving until that moment. It was clear that I wasn't alone in this. As the evening went on, we discussed the logistics of the job transition and how to navigate the fallout. From my marriage, the weight of it all still hung heavy, but there was a sense of hope growing within me. I wasn't sure how it would all unfold, but for the first time in a long time, I felt like maybe, just maybe, I could make it through. I felt like there was a way forward. When I returned home, the house was quiet. Molly had already gone to bed, and the silence felt oppressive. I stood in the living room for a moment, taking in the space we had shared, the life we had built together, and wondered how it had all fallen apart so completely. Then I walked to the futon, lay down, and stared at the ceiling. The darkness around me mirrored the heaviness in my heart. Difficult conversations awaited, and I had to steel myself for them. The next day, I confronted Molly, holding up the evidence of her betrayal. "And these?" I asked, my voice cold and cutting. "Brad's not the only one, Molly. His son, his friends, people I don't even know. Did they just walk all over you too? Or did you willingly throw yourself into this mess?" Her face crumpled as tears streamed down her cheeks. I don't know how it got this far," she whispered, her voice full of regret. "It started with Brad, but then it was like I couldn't stop. I felt trapped, ashamed. I didn't know how to face you." "Trapped," I repeated, my voice rising in frustration. "You weren't forced into this, Molly. You had choices. And every single one of them betrayed me, betrayed us. You let it spiral out of control. And now you want to play the victim?" She sobbed, her hands clutching her face. "I know I messed up, Mason. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. But I still love you." I slammed my hand on the table, the sharp noise cutting through her sobs. "Don't you dare say you love me," I hissed. "You don't destroy someone you love. You don't humiliate them, ruin their trust, and shatter their life." "Love you?" Threw that word away the moment you chose Brad over me. She fell silent, her tears the only response. After a long, tense pause, I leaned back in my chair, my tone quieter, but no less firm. "This is over, Molly. There's no fixing. This I'll file for divorce, and there's nothing left to discuss." Her head hung low. "What do you want me to do?" she asked, her voice barely audible. "You will pack your things and leave before the papers are served," I said. "You'll stay away from me, from my home, and from my life. You wanted Brad in a circus? Congratulations, you're free to join them." Her shoulders shook as my words settled in. "I'll leave tomorrow," she whispered. I stood up, unable to look at her any longer. Good, the sooner the better. Without another word, I turned and walked out of the room, leaving her alone with the consequences of her actions